What is a woman? Australian court rules in landmark case. But before we get to that, we're going to read from Genesis chapter 1. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them, and God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heaven, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruits. You shall have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. I'll just say that again. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, listening, emphasis, it was very good, very good, very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. When we read more about what a woman is, God has ordained what a woman is. God has ordained what a man is. We don't need no high court in Australia to tell us what a man is and what a woman is. We've got him who created all things has told us and tells us. And we shall read on. And there you can see the picture of the man. In the centre of the picture, to the right of the lady with the black hair, yes, I think that's a real woman. I mean, the guy on the right, clearly not a woman. And we can all see that. So a transgender woman. Now, transgender means fake, okay? Always remember that, fake woman. If it was transgender man, it'd be fake man, okay? So a fake woman from Australia has won a discrimination case against a, ready for it folks, a real women-only social media app. After she, I'm saying she, because that's what this says. But every time I say she, if I remember, I'm just going to say, for example, after she, he. Okay? So I'm going to call this man a she, he. Just to comply. Not that I'm complying because I'm terrified. I'm just complying because as I'm reading it, I don't want to slip up and just say she and forget. Anyway, so there we go. After she, he was denied access on the basis of being male. The federal court found that although Roxanne Tickle had not been directly discriminated against, she was a victim of indirect discrimination. So now we get indirect discrimination if they can't get you on direct discrimination. Always fitting everything to suit the narrative of the agenda. Anyway, which refers to when a decision disadvantages a person with a particular attribute, and ordered the app to pay her 10,000 Australian dollars, about $5,000, or $6,500 $1,000, plus costs. It's a landmark ruling when it comes to gender identity. At the very heart of the case was the ever more contentious question, what is a woman? It's all in here, folks. What is a woman? I mean, come on, we know what a woman is, don't we? Yeah? We know what a woman is. Do you know what a woman is? Do you know what a man is? Okay? A woman is a woman, and a man is a man. A man has a penis, and a woman has a vagina. But sometimes you can get mutations, but it depends on, let me just tell you what really makes a woman and a man. Don't tell anyone, because I think they're scared to know. X, Y chromosome equals man, XX chromosome equals woman. But don't tell anyone, whatever you do, because they will sue you. Yes, it's coming. In 2021, Tickle downloaded Giggle for Girls. And now Tickle is the lady. Oh, sorry, no, the man. See how confusing it is? Tickle is the man who's claimed to be a woman. Okay, Tickle downloaded Giggle for Girls, an app marketed as an online refuge. Look at that, folks, a refuge for women, where women could share their experience in a safe space and where men were not allowed. It seems they are now. In order to get access, he had to upload a selfie to prove he was a woman, which was assessed by gender recognition software designed to screen out men. However, 7 months later, after successfully joining the platform, her membership was revoked. I'll say that again. Her she, his she, her his was revoked. As someone who identifies as a woman, I mean, you don't need to identify, do you? If you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man, you're a man. Tickle claimed he was legally entitled to use services meant for real women. Well, actually just says women. And that he was discriminated against based on his gender identity. He sued the social media platform as well as the CEO, Sal Grover, who's a real woman, by the way, and sought damages, amounting to $200,000, claiming that persistent misgendering by Grover had prompted constant anxiety and occasional suicide thoughts. Oh, my feelings are hurt because somebody won't let me be what I'm not. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be whatever you want to be. Meow. Meow. Row, 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 row. You've hurt my feelings. Giggle's legal team argued throughout the case that sex is a biological concept. They freely concede that Tickle was discriminated against, but on the grounds of sex rather than gender identity. Refusing to allow Tickle to use the app constituted lawful sex discrimination. They say the app is designed to exclude men, and because its founder perceives Tickle to be male, she argues that denying it access to the app was lawful. Now, in the real world, if you're a biological sex, that still means your gender, whatever it is, your biological sex. So if you're a biological man, your gender is male, man. If you're a biological woman, your gender is still woman, lady, girl, whatever, okay? But they're trying to say it's two different things, but it's not. It's the same thing, okay? Definition of a woman is all the attributes of a woman. Childbearing. Not everybody can childbear due to mutation, due to sicknesses, due to illness and whatever. But in the main, 99+% women, breasts, childbirth, they have a different mental approach to life. They're more protective. Whereas blokes, they carry the seed to impregnate the woman. The woman carries the egg to be fertilised. The man carries the seed. He's more masculine. He's stronger physically in the main than women. And his is more to protect. Okay? His thoughts think more sort of black and white. Well, no, that's not right. Is that racist? Saying black? I better not say it again because you never know who's listening. Okay? So, anyway. Let's read on. But Justice Robert Bromwich said in his decision on Friday that case law has consistently found sex is changeable and not necessarily binary, ultimately dismissing Giggle's argument. Dear me. I'm sorry, you can't change your chromosomes. That's what determines whether you're a male or a female. You see, all this doublespeak, all this changing the definition of words, you've got to be careful. This is why we need to make sure we've got an older dictionary in our possession. Because as time goes on, They changed the definition of words, and this is what they're doing now. Sex isn't changeable. Your biological sex, your gender is not changeable. Your chromosomes tell you that. It's biology, simple, basic biology, especially in this day and age. You know. Tickle said the ruling shows that all women are protected from discrimination and that she hoped the case would be healing for trans and gender diverse people. Tickle said the ruling shows that all women are protected. What about real women? You're the fake woman. They're not protected. You just... I mean, this is so obvious. Unfortunately, we got the judgment we anticipated. The fight for women's right continues, Grover wrote on X, responding to the decision. Known as Tickle versus Giggle, the case is the first time alleged gender identity discrimination has been heard by the federal court in Australia. It encapsulates how one of the most acrimonious ideological debates, trans inclusion versus sex-based rights, can play out in court. Tickle was born male. Tickle was born male. Tickle was born male. Tickle was born male. Now, the thing is, they say, oh, but I feel like a woman, so I'm a woman now. How do you know what a woman feels like if you were born a male? How can you possibly know that? That's an impossibility. But changed his gender and has been living as a woman since 2017. Fake woman. Let's get it straight. When giving evidence to the court, she said, up until this instance, everybody has treated me as a woman. I've not treated you as a woman. So you're wrong in that claim. And I'm sure this Giggle hasn't treated you as a woman, as well as 90% or 99% of real women around the world wouldn't treat you as a woman or see you as a woman. You're a man. Get a grip of yourself. Not literally, if you've still got them. But anyway, I do from time to time get frowns and stirs and questioning looks, which is quite disconcerting. Oh, sue everybody. But they'll let me go about my business. But Grover believes no human being has or can change sex. That's correct. Not a belief, it's a fact, which is the pillar of gender-critical ideology. When Tickle's lawyer, Georgina Costello KC, cross-examined Grover, she said, even when a person who was assigned male at birth transitions to a woman by having surgery, hormones, gets rid of facial hair, undergoes facial reconstruction, grows their hair long, wears makeup, wears female clothes, describes themselves as a woman, introduces themselves as a woman, uses female changing rooms, changes their birth certificates, you don't accept that as a woman. No, Grover replied, and neither do I, and neither do most. 99% of logical thinking people on this planet who have not been brainwashed into, let's just say, or gaslighted and are now suffering from, mental dissidence or what's it called? Anyway, I'm sure you'll tell me. She also said she would refuse to address Tickle as Miss and that Tickle is a biological male. Tickle is also gender male, okay? They're the same thing. Grover is a self-declared TERF. TERF, an acronym that stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. TERF's views on gender identity are widely considered to be hostile to trans people. You know what? So real women are now subject to real men's, like, dear, it's just, it's so obvious, isn't it? I'm being taken to federal court by a man who claims to be a woman because he wants to use a woman's only space I created. She posted on X, there isn't a woman in the world who would take me to court to use this woman-only space. It takes a man for this case to exist. Correct, it does take a man for this case to exist because a man doesn't know what a woman feels like, and if you're a real woman, you wouldn't need to be to take it to court because you would be a real woman, not a man claiming to be a woman. So there'd be no case, would there? She says she created her app Giggle for Girls in 2000 after receiving a lot of social media abuse by men while she worked in Hollywood as a screenwriter. And it continues abuse by a man. I want to create a safe women-only space in the palm of your hand, she said. It is a legal fiction that Tickle is a woman. His birth certificate has been altered from male to female, but he is a biological man and always will be. We are taking a stand for the safety of all women's only space, but also for basic reality and truth, which the law should reflect. Grover has previously said that she would appeal the court's decision and will fight the case all the way to the High Court of Australia. Now, this is the interesting thing, okay? Now, the outcome of this case set a legal precedent for the resolution of conflicts between gender identity rights and sex-based rights in other countries. Crucial to understand this is the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Now, look at this. This Convention on the Convention of the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, was a convention to eliminate discrimination against women, okay? And now they're going to use it to discriminate against women by men. This is an international treaty adopted in 1979 by the UN to effectively the International Bill of Rights for Women. Giggle's defence argued that Australia's ratification of CEDAW, because basically Australia do ratify this Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, and now because when we know it sets a precedence, if Australia ratified this discrimination against women law, then when they make laws, Australia, saying that biological men can now be women, that means that that man claims to be woman is protected under this convention. So it says Australia's ratification of CEDAW obliges the state to protect women's rights, including single-sex spaces. So today's ruling in favour of Tickle will be significant for all the 189 countries where CEDAW has been ratified, from Brazil to India to South Africa. When it comes to interpreting international treaties, national courts have to look at how other countries have done it. Australia's interpretation in the case that got this level of media attention is likely to have global repercussions. If over time a growing number of courts rule in favour of gender identity claims, it is more likely that other countries will follow suit. So therefore, this Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women is doing the opposite. It's discriminating against women. Goodness me!